If you are a person of color, if you are in LGBTQ community, if you are a neurodivergent, you understand oppression. You understand what it's like to be oppressed. You understand what it's like for people to dehumanize you, for people to treat you as if you are less than human, for people to just talk to you in your kind of way, to just treat you in your kind of ways, to strip away your autonomy, strip away your independence, strip away your freedom, to not treat you with human decency, to act as if you have no emotions, to act as if you are just this container for so much pain and trauma, as if you are robotic, as if you are less than human, like all of this stuff that you are going through is not going to affect you in any type of way. Is exactly how the people of Palestine are feeling. And if you have been through that, you understand exactly what this is, how they feel, because this, as much as what it is going through, this wholeheartedly is a human rights issue. It's where people think they can take away the human rights of another person or another group of people. They feel like they can, these evil demonic forces in this world just feel like they can just strip away a person's, 111 on my clock, they feel like they can just strip away a person's human rights, strip away their human decency, to treat them as if they are less than human. But then when people want to start fighting back, then all of a sudden they're wrong. They're not wrong. Because let's think about it. If they waged war on Palestine and those other countries, and they started that war, if you started a war with any country, they can finish that war. They can come back and they can start fighting back with their lethal weapons. They can start fighting back to get you to leave them alone. Because at this point, they were a people of a country just minding their own damn business until these other people came over here and started bothering and started fucking with them, took over their land. Sounds familiar? Same thing that these folks did to black people in America. We just celebrated Indigenous Day, right? Yeah. But let me just tell you something. It wasn't just the Native Americans that were here. It was black people that were here first. Black people are the original people. We were here first. We were here everywhere. So they came. Conversation for another day. A lot of us did not come from Africa. A lot of us were already here, and they came and they took over our land, and they dehumanized us. They enslaved us, oppressed us for centuries. And we as a black people are still recovering to this day to break those generational curses that have been existing for centuries. And I'll be damned, we're not gonna let this shit happen anymore. We're not gonna let this continue to happen. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to dehumanize and enslave all of the people of color on this entire earth, because they know that the people of color are God's people. That's what they're trying to do. They did the same thing with black folks, and they're trying to do the same thing with over here with people in Palestine. It's not gonna happen. So let's see. This is a human rights issue. This is people thinking that their lives are more important than others. These are people thinking that another person's life is not as valuable, is not as important. Me, as a black woman that is also autistic, that is also queer, they look at me at times as if my life is not important. They look at black women as if our lives are not important. The black woman is the least protected woman in the world, let alone America, the world, the least protected one. They also want to look at us like, also as a neurodivergent, there are very many people that are ableist that just they reject what they do not understand. And because we are not as deemed normal, they look at us as if we are less than human, and they treat us as if we are less than human. They speak to us as if we are less than human. They ostracize us, and ostracism is a form of oppression. You're pushing people away. There's no inclusion. There's no community, there's division. Also, as a queer woman, same exact way. They expect you to be a certain way, but when you shy away from what, I used to be religious. I used to be a part of Christianity, but I'm no longer Christian. I am spiritual. Okay? However, despite the fact that I'm autistic, despite the fact that I'm queer, despite the fact that I'm a black woman, I deserve my human rights just as everybody else in this world. The people of Palestine, they deserve their human rights just as much as everybody else. Because those people from that country, if they go over to any of these other countries that are attacking them and go and enslave those people, have a whole war zone in their backyard, did they go do that to them? No. So for people to think that shit is okay, it's not okay. For people to think that they are wrong for fighting back, they are not wrong for fighting back. Because what they did is they declared war on Palestine. They started fighting them. They started waging war against them for decades. And when they realized that these people were going to continue to battle war against them, and they were not going to stop, they were not going to ease up, they were not going to change, what are they supposed to do? Just sit there and take it? They're not going to just sit there and take it. Why should a person have to sit there and take it? Why do we think that, like, who are these people to make these people feel like they are less than human, that they are less deserving of human decency? Who are these people to think that just because who are these people to think that they can go ahead and just enslave these people, treat them so horribly, to abuse them, to torture them? That's further than abuse, it's torture. What makes these people think they could just sit there and torture people's lives and they're supposed to just sit there and take that and be okay with it? No. Every human being deserves human decency. Every human being deserves human rights. We have one race, the human race, and every single person of the human race deserves human decency. It doesn't matter if you are black, brown, red, blue, green, pink. It doesn't matter. Everybody deserves human decency. So what we are seeing now is that justice is being served right now. And for decades, the people that have been oppressed it's like we've been doing what we can to fight back, but it seems as if it's to no avail, because we haven't been seeing much. Much has changed. But now we are in the season of justice where the scales are balancing, and the universal law of karma, the scales are balancing. We're seeing this in these countries of the oppression, but we're also seeing this in our everyday lives. We're also seeing this as a collective of the pain that so many people are dealing with. But what we are seeing here is that God's people, God's children, do not deserve to be treated this way. And that anyone that can treat God's children that way are not children of God, but they are children of the enemy. This world has split into light and dark. This world has split into good versus evil. The world has split into angels and demons. Those that commit the oppression are the demons, are the darkness, are the evil against the people that are good, of the light, God's children, the angels. See it for what it is. See it for what it is. It's spiritual warfare. It's spiritual warfare. Trying to annihilate God's people. But the devil's time is up. Keep holding on. Your justice will prevail.